Hello everyone and welcome back to my The Young and Restless 24 YouTube channel. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Before we start, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Summer will get some intimidating news while Phyllis and Sharon make a wrong move. For starters, it looks like Chance will give Summer updates on the information he formerly gave Daniel. Summer should hear about the white van with no windows, which was spotted in the area where Phyllis was last seen, and also in the area where Sharon was last seen as well. There'll be no doubt in Summer's mind that Commodity's seriously wrong then, so she'll let Chance comfort her on Wednesday's Y&R occasion. Summer would rather use Kyle as a shoulder to cry on, but she'll accept Chance's support for now. At the abandoned psychiatric installation, Phyllis and Sharon will realize it's time to take charge of their own fortune. Sharon and Phyllis will sweat that the kidnapper could exclude them, indeed if they pass all his tests and prove that his trial is a success. The prisoner insists this is in particular, so he's only in this for the satisfaction of being right when it comes to his crooked game. This person doesn't really feel invested in getting Phyllis and Sharon back to their loved bones. So that's clearly a reason to worry. Y&R spoilers say Sharon and Phyllis will try to take charge of the situation ever on Wednesday's occasion, but that'll be the wrong decision. Phyllis and Sharon are on the verge of falling into a terrible trap, so they'll be in fear mode before the week's over. Over with Tracy, she'll reveal Commodity surprising to Jack. This may have Commodity to do with just how hard Tracy has fallen for Alan. Tracy might admit she could see herself spending the rest of her life with Alan, and once they're having regale with Jack and Diane Jenkins, Alan will elude at a marriage offer. After Alan suggests he'd ask Tracy to marry him if he allowed. She'd say yes, she may confess that she's ready. Whatever the case, the timing of Tracy's romantic bliss is suspicious, especially now that Sharon and Phyllis's prisoner is talking about his trial. There are some signs to suggest that Alan may actually be his sociopathic twin, Martin, and that he could be over to his faux remedy tricks again. Is Martin the twin who survived the deck spill? Has Martin been posing as Alan and running this prison game on the side? Tracy may not get the happy ending she's awaiting, so stay tuned for all the drama that's about to toast up. There's much further hijacking chaos ahead for Sharon and Phyllis. Sharon and Phyllis will be lab rats while it's determined that a white van was tied to their hijackings. In prison, Sharon will push Phyllis to drink what she believes is the cure, but Phyllis will have a hard time trusting her. Still, Phyllis will eventually gulp the water bottle marked with a sticker and will feel more many twinkles latterly. Sharon will wonder if Phyllis would have done the same for her if the situation had been reversed. Phyllis will act like perhaps she would have, but Sharon will suspect that Phyllis would have helped her, too. After Phyllis thanks Sharon for saving her life and takes her hand, Phyllis will try to get some rest on the lounge. The prisoner will ultimately tell Sharon that this is in particular and that they should suppose of this like in trial. Sharon will rant about being lab rats and worry that emancipation doesn't inescapably mean they'll be returned to their loved bones. Once Sharon riots and startles Phyllis, she'll admit she doesn't suppose they're getting out of there anytime soon. At society, Nick will open up to Victoria about his enterprises since Sharon and Phyllis are still missing. Daniel will join the discussion before Chance appears with some updates. Thanks to some new CCTV footage, there'll be proof that a white van with no windows pulled up after Phyllis left the athletic club. Sharon was also spotted in the Cassidy First parking lot near that same van, which was stolen from a medical force company that morning. Now that they've this indication, Nick will hope it leads to figuring out where Sharon and Phyllis are now. Summer will ail Kyle date with Claire and contend this is about Harrison. Once Claire steps down, Summer will argue that Harrison could hear Commodity about Phyllis's exposure, so they need to talk to him tonight and try to assure him. Kyle will delve in when Summer argues that this can't stay, so she'll be pleased. Summer will try to move Claire not to stay around, but Claire will decide to smear a drink at the bar. Claire will find the martini she orders to be a little strong, so Holden will come on and order them both some matins rather. That'll be further to Claire's relish, so Holden will have a kittenish discussion with her about James Bond before swapping prolusions. When Kyle returns with Summer, they'll spot Holden and Claire chinking spectacles. Summer will point out that Claire set up a new friend, so Kyle will feel a little jealous as he steals her down from Holden and tries to get their date back on track. Claire and Kyle have further relationship issues in their future, so we'll bring you more prognostications on all the disquieting news to come. Sharon deliverance will work while Claire meets Holden and Summer distracts Kyle. Let's launch with Summer's grand plan since she's going to drive a wedge between Kyle and Claire on Tuesday's YNR occasion. Summer eavesdropped Kyle planning his romantic night, so it sounded like the bus incontinently started turning. The last thing Summer wants is for Claire and Kyle to get near, so she'll fight to keep them piecemeal. Summer might manipulate the situation so that Diane Jenkins and Jack can't babysit Harrison despite their pledge to. Summer could at least make it feel that way through some miscommunication and beget Kyle to abandon Claire for the evening. Also again, Summer might construct some other extremity to distract Kyle rather. Although Summer may dupe Kyle with her fake story, Claire may not be as easy to wisecrack. Claire is formally getting fed up with all the little strategies Summer's using to pull Kyle in her direction. When Kyle can't make it to regale as planned, Claire may suspect Summer is sabotaging effects. In addition to ruining Claire and Kyle's date, Summer should be pleased over the disunion her conduct beget. Still, Claire wouldn't have to stay lonely for too long since Holden will introduce himself at the athletic club's bar. Holden and Claire will enjoy some drinks as they get to know each other, so we'll see if they pass a chemistry test. At the old psychiatric installation, Phyllis will find herself backed into a corner thanks to the bane she supposedly gulped down in her water bottle. Sharon thinks she's answered the coming mystery, so she's encouraging Phyllis to drink another water bottle with a sticker on the lid. All signs point to that alternate bottle being the cure, but the consequences could be disastrous if Sharon's wrong. Phyllis may worry Sharon's put the wrong suggestions together and sweat she could face a grim fate if it's just more poisoned water rather. It seems likely this is a trust exercise that the prisoner's forcing them to engage in. Once Phyllis takes the adventure and basically puts her life in Sharon's hands by trusting her judgment, it'll help them mend walls a bit. Sharon's deliverance should work when she's proven correct about the water bottle, so Phyllis may reluctantly thank her formally she starts feeling better. This could be a turning point for Phyllis and Sharon, so we'll bring you updates on the good news ahead. Phyllis and Sharon will make a mistake while Summer plays dirty. Some atom alarm bells will also go off for Victor, so let's bandy all the action. Before Kyle and Claire can protest off their romantic evening, Summer will ail their plans. It'll irk Claire and maybe make her solicitude that Kyle's letting his partner get down with too important. Still, the evening wouldn't be each bad since Claire's about to find a fascinating drinking chum. Holden will decide he should get to know further people in Genoa City, so he'll start with Claire at the athletic club's bar. Next, Chance will give Summer some support as she grows decreasingly upset about Phyllis. Of course, Commodity tells us Summer would rather be getting comfort from Kyle rather. Latterly, Chance will pass along some interesting updates to Nick and Billy. A new indication could potentially put Billy and Nick on the path to pulling off a double deliverance charge. After Phyllis inadvertently drinks bane from one of the water bottles in prison, Sharon will have to break a mystification to figure out where the cure is. Phyllis will owe Sharon big time once her rival comes through for her. Once Phyllis recovers enough to fight back against the kidnapper, she'll platoon up with Sharon to work a new angle. Sharon and Phyllis wouldn't be suitable to take it presently, so they'll attempt to gain control ever. Crossing their prisoner could prove to be a big mistake since effects are about to take an intimidating turn. Phyllis and Sharon will fall for the kidnapper setup, so they'll land in an indeed tighter spot. After Sharon and Phyllis get stuck in this trap, they'll fear time is running out. Nick and Billy will fight nearly in an auto together, so could they nail down Phyllis and Sharon's position thanks to Chance's lead? At the GCAC, Alan will make it clear that he'd marry Tracy if he allowed. She'd accept his offer. Tracy will pound it over, so she may end up giving her loved bones. Some engagement news soon. Unfortunately, Jack will make an admission to Diane Jenkins, one that may not forebode well for Tracy's future. Will Jack have an unsettled feeling about Tracy and Alan potentially tying the knot? There's still a chance that Alan is actually his evil binary family, Martin, if gearing up for one further exchange twist. Still, that could make quite a mess of effects, especially if he's behind Sharon and Phyllis's creepy psychiatric stay, if Martin survived in France rather than Alan. Eventually, Adam will set off some alarm bells for Victor, who may disapprove of his son's strategies against Billy. Maybe Victor won't suppose Adam's doing enough to prepare for the trouble Abbott dispatches poses.